The mainstream drive-by media and their political allies have been losing badly as podcasts like Joe Rogan and All In just keep winning more views. And when it comes to the news, independent investigative journalists like Nick Shirley have collapsed the hacks living off of fraud. But now, with electoral winds perhaps shifting, it's revenge time, and the authoritarians are getting ready to shut down free speech all across America.
And not only that, they'll also have the power to take down my videos. And they're basically trying to bankrupt journalists from looking into the fraud.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to keep you ahead of the culture curve, explaining what's about to happen even before it occurs. And for those drive-by journalists out there, get your jumbo pencils ready. It's time to take notes on tomorrow's headlines. Folks, as we dive in, click the like button. And on the screen right here, you can see Nick Shirley, and he is the young man who has created a huge change in America by exposing the vast fraud, starting in Minnesota with that leering place, and then moving on all across the US of A, and he continues to do what he does. But the politicians in California, who would like to have control of the entire America, that's the US of A, of course, they're not happy about it, and they're ready to risk free speech to shut him down, and I dare say to shut you and me down. Don't go anywhere. This video is going to explain it. Folks, as we get ready to play the clip here, I just want to let you know, I know there's been a tremendous amount of fracturing in the new media. I know that many of our personalities, many of the people that you were hoping would rise to the occasion, given the fact that the dinosaur media had finally been defeated, they let you down, and they let you down badly. Here on this channel, every day we work hard not to do that. Every day we work hard to give you content that I believe uplifts and aims us in a better direction. We try to be authentic. It's a daily effort where we have to be retrospective every single day. But I want you to know that whatever you might be viewing and watching and the debasement of conversation online, we must protect free speech. It's in danger. Here's Nick Shirley. Here's why they hate him so, and they hate the new media. They hate you. They hate me. And here's what he's doing. And here's why they have to shut him down.
What do you do for work here?
Huh?
What do you do for work here?
Why?
Oh, we're just looking around. We're seeing all these hospices, so we're just curious.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Word got out that I was inside of the plaza, and all the fraudsters started hopping in their cars, leaving the scene.
Now, Nick Shirley already did this in Minnesota, right? You all know that. He went to California, and boy, oh boy, did he uncover that it's going on there just the same. If we go to Wall Street Apes, it says Dr. Oz confirms that after stopping payments to 450 hospices in California, still not one has called and asked to have their payments reinstated. In other words, as he's appearing with Katie over here, Dr. Oz is confirming they did shut down the payments to these fraudsters. Now that means the money stopped flowing, and you know where that money is going, aka corrupt politicos, right? So when that money stops, their fury is aimed not just at Nick Shirley, but everybody out there who's playing the same game of trying to tell the truth with a capital T. Here's Dr. Oz.
What is the response to Democrats arguing that this rooting out of fraud, that it's cutting Medicaid services? What is your response to that?
None at all. They know it's manufactured. That's why when they say this sort of, like sheepishly mention the possibility that you might once in a while hurt someone that's innocent. I argue that if you take a child with autism and you give them the services they need, you're doing a great service. It's the right thing to do. We're great people. We'll always help folks in need. But if every mother is pretending because they're getting paid that the children in the neighborhood have autism.
Folks, I have no idea why we are zoomed in this closely to Dr. Oz's mouth, but stay with me. We'll keep playing it. Here we go.
Which is bad for those kids, by the way.
And you're seeing that.
And we're seeing that in Minnesota. You take a budget from $3 million to $400 million. You do that by creating programs and manufacturing services that aren't supposed to be used. But what you're doing is you're hurting the child who really has autism because they can't get access to services, and you're corrupting the entire system. We're seeing the same thing in California with hospice, where you have 1/3 of all the hospices, Katie, in the entire country are in Los Angeles, not California, just LA. I mean, how many people are dying there?
Yeah.
Right. So you obviously have allowed
a little bit of a red flag.
And I'll make this announcement on your show. We have stopped payments to 450 hospices in California. Guess what? Not one has called us asking to reinstitute them.
Now, how did that happen? Because of independent journalism, out of somebody like Nick Shirley. How have we seen the Walt Disney Company make changes to what they've been doing, which was to invert Western values and indoctrinate children and propagandize your kids? Folks, channels like this, channels like Nerdrotic, channels like Geeks and Gamers, channels like Valiant Renegade, like Yellow Flash, channels that are authentically trying to point to what's going on in entertainment. But it's not just entertainment, although that's what we cover here. It's the independent journalism side of things with Nick Shirley, right? Remember Christopher Rufo, who really put a ding into Disney? How long until they want to shut that down? How long until California says no more? Now, I'll pull this up before I put the threat up. The threat is here, but threats are being received by Nick Shirley just by being an independent journalist. He's facing all kinds of issues. Here's one such issue he must face, which has to do with his bodily safety.
After last night and the constant doxing attempts and threats from people who want to attack me, largely due to politicians and leftist hate-filled rhetoric as I expose billion-dollar fraud schemes stealing from taxpayers, I've decided it's time to raise money for security costs. What happened?
Yeah, so people try to dox my location live, especially, and a lot of times when I go to these cities now, it sucks because I'll go to a city, I'll go be out filming, someone will take a photo, some activists, some left-wing activists will then take a photo, put me in a Reddit group chat. This happened to me in Baltimore. It just happened this last weekend in California, and they say, run Nick Shirley out, or they'll say, if you see Nick Shirley, it's on site.
Now, okay, there is danger involved in being an independent journalism whenever you're uncovering fraud. In my life, I have dealt with in the past entities that were engaged in all kinds of untoward activities. We'll put it that way. And the more corruption you prepare to expose, or the more corruption that you're going after, the greater the pushback you're going to receive. You would think then that our elected politicians, being the free speech beacons that they are, I'm sure, that they would be defending independent journalists, right? Because you see, independent journalism and free speech, they go hand in hand, and they're the antiseptic to terrible ideas inside society. Independent journalists, they uncover some of the diseases that are happening in the world that we don't know about. They bring them into our forefront. You and I, we have jobs that we have to do. We work 9 to 5. Some of us work more. And we don't have time to sit and uncover what's going on in the dark alleys and on the web and places that we don't go. But the independent journalists do, and they bring that to the forefront to us, ideally, right? And then free speech allows us to debate that and debate all kinds of things. And sure, free speech is something that can be used to say insightful and mean things, but it's also a thing that allows you to say something that just might, rarely, be right in the face of what others are saying. And then we use that as a corrective measure, okay? All right. Well, what if I told you the politicians are not interested in that whatsoever? There's a certain breed of politician out there that is looking to destroy the new media. And you've been waiting for me to bring this up, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. I do apologize, folks. We don't typically do videos where I play video after video like this, but I had to walk us through what's going on here. I don't like to use other people's content to a large degree if I can avoid it, but we are using the news, and we have to use this to get through what we need to say. I want to say to you that when do we reach the point, if California is going to go after Nick Shirley, if California is going to impose fines on people who dare cross the line of telling the truth that they don't like, right? Because remember, there's still, the woke mind virus still exists out there. It's hiding right now, but it continues to exist, and it's postmodern neo-Marxism. It's one of the main reasons we started this channel is because there's a group of people out there, they want to capture entertainment, but they also want to capture journalism. By the way, journalism is ran out of these entertainment corporations. They want to capture these things because they don't believe in the Western values of truth with a capital T and civility with a capital C and, dare I say, love with a capital L. They believe in power and narrative. They don't believe in objective fact. They don't believe in logic at all. They reject the logos, and I love the logos. At least I try to. Better. I hope you do too. And so what is it they're after right now? Revenge. You thought they would let you win? You thought you could take your foot off the accelerator? You bimbos and ninnies and dumbos and doofuseyes out there who prophesied that if you got the election this last time, you'd win forever? Never! These people are angry. The people who've been kicked out of power are angry. They're furious, and they're ready to shut all this down. They're ready to move to the UK model as soon as they get power again. And I try not to do politics. I know people laugh about that and say, oh, come on, bro, you're political. I try not to. But the issue here is that if these people get power, they're going to shut all of this down. They're going to shut down our ability to say what we say online, which is the truth, by the way, at least as best as we can approximate it. They're going to shut it all down. They're going to shut your ability to hear it down. And how do I know that? Because right here, what I'm showing you. Gunther Eagleman says, disgusting. California Democrats just pushed a bill that would slap independent journalist Nick Shirley with a $50,000 felony fine if he dares expose an NGO committing fraud with migrant cash. Here's the interview.
Yeah, so if this passes, the fraud's going to continue to get worse and worse. And if I were to go look into the fraud at one of these NGOs, let's say, that receives money for migrants, I could receive a $4,000 civil fine, a $10,000 criminal fine, or a $50,000 felony if this bill gets passed. And not only that, they'll also have the power to take down my videos. And they're basically trying to bankrupt journalists from looking into the fraud.
Yeah, they're trying to bankrupt you after you're having to fund your own private security. But the American people collectively say thank you, Nick Shirley.
All right, now he's on Fox News, and Fox News, I think, is legacy at this point. It wasn't always, but it's legacy at this point. And they're a particular type of legacy media, but Nick Shirley is definitively, distinctly independent new media. He is, and he's made his bones, he's made his bread on X and a few other places, but he's mostly on X. That's where he's getting so much attention. And what is it they're saying to him? California, which you know wants to be back in power again. California, New York are so desperate for power. They have such an exodus of people leaving their states, and they're angry about it. They hate you, Texas. They hate you, Florida. They hate you, Tennessee. They are furious with all of you. And they're ready to invoke revenge if they get power again. I hate to be political about this. I hate to talk about partisanship, but they're after you. They're after what you can listen to and what you can find out and what you can know. They want to shut down Nick Shirley. They want to find every independent journalist out there that uncovers the stuff they don't want to be in the news. This is their remedy to Elon Musk buying X and resetting everything, Western civilization, frankly, so that you can, flaws and all on X, you can actually still at least attempt to find what's actually going on in the world. And they want to shut that down. They want to stop it. They want to go with the European model. The European model, of course, if you look at Europe right now, Europe has just been decimated in terms of its relevancy, in terms of its economy, in terms of its robustness, its ability to defend itself, everything. Europe is a regional power. Sorry to the Europeans listening to us, but most of you agree. Europe has become a regional power. Germany has been neutered. France is just silly. The UK has become a place that locks you up, throws you in the paddy wagon for what you said on a social media binge one night. And that's what Europe has become. I forget that it's like out of the top 50 biggest companies in the world, 2 are out of Europe, right? Vast majority of the United States and China. And they want to send you there. Why? Because they want power. They want power more than anything. They want power, 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 power. And the other thing about it is they recognize, and we all better recognize too. We better figure this out in time. All of you listening, but we got to get this figured out. I know that the new media personalities out there, they have disappointed you so, many of them. And you tell me, and you say in the comments, so-and-so changed after the election and they became this way, or so-and-so fighting with so-and-so drives me crazy. I hear you. I hear you, right? Some of you say, these people, we thought they were true believers. No, they're botting for views now. And I hear you. But if we don't do something, the other side is going to win. This is one of those rare times when I will go political because the politics of the day are one side wants to shut down the new media. One side wants to shut down free speech. One side wants to stop independent investigative journalism. And the reason they're doing it, and you need to know it, and I need to know it, and we all need to adapt to it, is because the stakes have never, ever been higher, and we get one shot at this. One shot. And that shot is AI is coming. You all can sit there and scoff. I know you're not. The drive-bys, they might. You won't. You know. AI is coming. It may not be affecting your everyday yet, but it's going to. And it's going to be one of the most powerful things humans have ever invented, and it's going to be transformative. And the other side gets it. The other side knows they're battling for every marble. They're playing for every card in the deck. Everything they have is going to be focused on taking control back of information, because whoever controls the information in the next 10 years wins everything. Maybe for 100 years. Maybe more. It's time to get real, folks. It's time to recognize the danger that is lurking. It's not just Star Wars they wanted to destroy. It's not just Marvel. It's not just your kids' content. It's not just Star Trek. It's not just all your stories, your movies, your streaming. And then when you went and started watching YouTube and Rumble and TikTok and Instagram instead, folks, it's the news. It's your ability to engage in the digital town square. They want it all, and they're going to take it from you if they get the chance. Here's hoping that not only will we post up a robust defense of this as a society and recognize the danger that it's at the door, but also that more moderate voices on the left who are not part of the neo-Marxist, who are not part of the postmodernists, who are not part of the wokies, who are not part of the authoritarians, but the more moderate side of the left will recognize that danger will metastasize and destroy all of us if we're not careful. Free speech matters. Free journalism matters tremendously. Do not let them destroy those bedrocks. And don't let them steal your entertainment either while we're at it. Folks, that's the video for this Monday morning. Sorry to be so dire. I don't want to be. Can I tell you I'm still optimistic? I am. I'm tremendously optimistic because I believe in us. We never quit. We never give up. It's not who we are. Have you heard that before? Somebody famous once said it. Folks, let's keep at it. Let's do the right thing. Let's get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn. Click that like button. Send us out far and wide. We'd love for people to tune in and hear what we have to say. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
This is one big cultural appropriation, don't you think?
What do you mean? We're just celebrating the Year of Medmut.
There's no thing called the Year of Medmut. There's a dog, but not a Medmut. Where did you get this from? Were you reading Time magazine again?
No, but I just figured that since he's so generous, he deserves to be like Star of the Year. The goat, if you will.
No.
You all know goats are hot.
You're just trying to suck up to him to get a membership on our channel, aren't you?
Maybe.
That's so disgusting. I'd say you should be ashamed of yourself, but trying to butter up to him like that... Then again, it is you.
Look, man, butter worked on Jonas.
Putting butter on a second-degree burn isn't a solution. Besides that, there's like another restraining order against you going near anyone in the kitchen. But you know what there isn't a court order for? Subscribing to WDW Pro and bookmarking thatparkplace.com.